Alright, today I wanted to talk about chord changes and helping people make just the basic chord changes, you know, like G's and C add 9s. I notice there's a lot of trouble, and it's like playing golf, you know. You could try to hit the ball, but if you're not swinging properly and you're not keeping your arms straight, and what I try to get my students first to do is try an E minor chord. So if you're starting off with guitar, you want to teach your hand to mold to the guitar properly. So what you want to do is you want to take the thumb, put it on the back, maybe just behind fret 2. This is fret 1, fret 2. Push your arm forward like this, and make sure that you have like a backward C shape here, right? And you don't want no tension. You don't want to be squeezing your arm all the way up here. I see students coming in and they're thinking they need all their muscle from here. Well, it's really just fingers and hands, right? So what you want to do is you want to take your thumb, put it on the back behind fret 2, lightly push your wrist forward so that you get this bend in your wrist. And make sure, again, you can see like a backward C shape. And then curl your fingertips into strings 5 and 4. So right now I have finger 1 on string 5. And finger 2 is going to be on string 4. We always count from the bottom up if you can't see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's how the strings are numbered. Now what I ask my students to do after you do that, push your arm forward, make your backward C shape, again, and curl them in, and try to make sure that your hand is closer to the tuning keys, not this way. That defeats the purpose of your fingers sitting nicely, because this way our fingers can kind of extend. You can see that my fingers can extend from here to there, and then I bend my knuckles in properly and I can get right on my tip. And the tip of your finger is basically right there, the center of your finger, like right there, not down below here, right in the center of the tip. That's how you want to start. Now, a lot of times we have to have some room for this third string on the E minor, so you can put it so that your finger's up just a little bit higher, and you're like just on the, you know, right there on the tip. You can see the little groove in my finger. And you can be close to string 5, just not touching it, so that you clear string 3. And then you want to push with your thumb on the back and push with your fingers on the front, but you're using muscles from here, not from here. This will tend to give you a sore shoulder, a sore neck. Same with your pick. You never want to hold it really, really tight and squeeze it. You want to hold it just tight enough. There's a little bit of tension to get it out of your fingers. Little bit of a fight, but you're not having a tug of war with it. The other thing is you want to keep your fingers out and loose and relaxed. Your whole hand should be relaxed. Should just fall with the weight of your hand. Shouldn't be forced. Should just come down nice and relaxed. So once you get that, you get your thumb on the back, push your wrist forward, curl your fingertips in, and make sure your wrist can come back this way to the tuning keys. And we can always get a pen or a pencil between our hand and the neck. That's such a great way of explaining how to start. Now, we don't always keep our hand back this way. If I go to a C chord, I got to get finger 3 up, so I'm going to pivot in this way. So a lot of pivoting things we do that I talk about with our chord changes. That's what TJ's Easy Guitar is all about. Building dexterity and not spending years doing it like I had to as a kid, because I didn't have anybody come up with some cool ideas to help me build my dexterity with my hand. So the next thing, let's forget about right hand. Let's see if we can lift 1 and 2 up together and drop them into strings 3 and 4. And then we'll lift them up again. Always lift and place together. I have had one student in all my 20 years or 23 years of teaching always wanted to change chords and step in like this. And I always said, don't do that. You're going to have serious problems fixing it later. And, you know, he's a doctor now, and he's called me up and said, TJ, I'm still having a heck of a time, you know, changing chords. I said, well, because you stepped in everything like this. I told you, you know, learn to lift and place. I asked you to learn to lift and place. It would make your life a lot easier on guitar. So that's one exercise I give all my students. Now, the cool thing about this exercise is that not only can we build strength in our hand and a good muscle in our hand, but we can use fingers 2 and 3 as well, and put your thumb on the back doing the same idea. Come in, curl those fingers down, make sure your wrist is back there more, and then you get that. And now you can work those two out as well. So it's kind of cool to build strength in your hand and get some dexterity going quickly instead of wasting weeks and months. Yeah, imagine if you did this for like an hour every day, this would be just, oh, okay, I can make that change, no problem. The last cool move that I really love to teach my students, because the pinky is the weakest link. He's not very strong, he's small, but he can be really helpful and get strong and be fast, especially for solos and things like that. So, but for beginning and learning some technique, maybe we could use fingers 3 and 4. Always remember 1, 2, 3, and 4 as fingers. The thumb just counts as a thumb. And we can put these two there. So again, our thumb goes on the back. Now we might have to move our thumb back just over the fret wire here and come in and curl around and then get that. Everybody goes, oh, DJ, that's hard. I go, I know, but check it out. If you can get these two working, and I just go like this, and I slide those two up now, and I put finger 1 on string 6, I get a power chord. And if I bring that power chord down, and I go to here, I get some cool song sounding, Nirvana. Right? So that's the idea of me building technique and strength with all my students. And it doesn't take them long to start playing a guitar at all. That's just one exercise, all right? So do that. Now once you get your fingers just moving by themselves, so work them up. And don't rush it, because music's like wine. It gets better with age, right? So you do your little bit every day, and it builds up and builds up. I've been playing since I was, 8 years old. So we got a good 40-something years in there. But of building up techniques and learning different songs and just having lots of fun trying to build with guitar. So that's one move. You get that good. I would count too. I'd be like 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and now the other thing that I notice, people like to put their fingers right underneath each other. Make sure this guy's got his own room and this finger's got its own room, and then we get nice clear chords that way. We don't want them trying to be right underneath each other. So that's another good tip. Again, counting's important so that when we start strumming, we can do things like 1, 2, and 3, 4, and in fact what I ask my students to do is count 4 times so that you're building strength in your hand, and don't rush it. And it's just an exercise as if you were going to the gym and you're slowly building up muscles. This is what this is for, slowly building up our hand dexterity and muscles. So we get this 1, 2. You should count the ands in between too. So something like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and the A, I'm only strumming this chord here is an A suspended second. And I'm only strumming from the 5th string down, and we're just doing down strums. And the E, we're strumming from the top string down. 1, 2. Nice relaxed strumming hand too. Don't be all tensed up and using your arm. You use your wrist. And you can see that I rest the heel of my palm on the corner of the peg just lightly. So the weight of my hand can strum down. I try not to be really quiet, like, dig a little bit. So we get some more sound like that. 2, 3, 4, and do another set of 4 on this chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. And you can see my wrist is back, 2. And we got to keep finger 2 up a little higher, but not touching the string above so we clear the one below. three, four, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. So that would be, I would do that 10 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, change, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 more times, slow and steady. So you're building strength in your hand and calluses on your fingertips. Then I would move to fingers 2 and 3, like that. And then I would do the same thing again. Now make sure that when you're strumming and you get to the last one, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. You change 4 and pick goes down from 5, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. And again, the best one was these two for getting our power chords. All right, so we're going to use fingers 3 and 4. We could still have our wrist this way, but it feels like it should come just in this way a bit so that when we go to here, we can get our power chord. So for this one, I wouldn't have my fingers jammed but my wrist back here. I'd have my wrist more this way. And that way you can see, because what's happening here is if I'm this way, these fingers are down here. We need them to get to the top strings 5 and 4, while finger 1 gets to this one. And finger 1 has got a lot of length. So it's okay for that, because it can reach to there while this wrist is here. It's not like finger 1 is way down here and it's got to struggle to get up there. Whereas our pinky, if we have our wrist way back here, we're trying to get up. We can't, right? Because our pinky's too short. So we pivot in this way, but we never do this, right? Pivot in this way and keep your fingers 3 and 4 like that. Okay? So that's one exercise out of, hundreds that I give to my students, and they all get playing within a minimal time. If you've watched this video and this has helped you and you want more, please leave me some comments. Click on the bell and hit the subscribe button as well. You'll always get notified when I post new videos. I hope that really helps you to get started with your chord changes. Perfect chord to start with and a great way to get your fingers moving. Have a great day. Bye for now.